James, Phoenix, and this is the Burn Factory. This is the Burn Factory. Reese James and Phoenix. This is the Burn Factory. Reese James.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another recap show. Phoenix, I almost just said prediction show right there.
I know, you caught yourself. Thank God, so we don't have to retake this.
But as you may know, me and Phoenix are going to pick 3 bear moments that we saw either in the early prelims, main fight, or the main event.
Just any fight of the night.
Phoenix, tell them what a bear moment is.
Like always, a burn moment is a pivotal turning point in one's life, or in this case, a fight that really had to happen and that person had to go through to ultimately come out victorious.
You heard it here first, folks. That's what a bear moment is. But we got to kick things off. So before we actually do that, Phoenix, what was your thoughts on the Michael Chandler fight?
Dude, are you serious? You're really going to ask me that right now?
Of course. Me personally, I thought it was the main event.
It's safe to say, Priest, I am very, 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 very sad. I am very sad, man. I love Michael Chandler. He's literally my favorite fighter. I think he has to be my favorite fighter. And it's just so tough to see because he's so close to winning these fights. Like, right there. Charles Oliveira had him hurt. Poirier had him hurt. Gaethje had him hurt. Like, all these fights he's lost, he's just so close to winning. And then he loses. And it's just like, it pains me because he was so close to the title, and I really think he would give Islam a very, very hard fight. Because stylistically, they're both wrestlers. Chandler, I think, has more power on the feet. He has better hands. Dude, it sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah. The question is just, what's next for him? I mean, obviously McGregor. I heard McGregor is in talks with the fight, and I think it makes sense. It makes sense for me. It makes sense for you, probably. It makes sense for Chandler.
Yeah, it's tough because I think he's in now a good 3-4-ish fights away from the title. He did call out Conor McGregor. Granted, that was off a win. And now that he's coming off a loss, it's kind of like, is the hype still there? I think it's there because I think Michael Chandler is one of the most entertaining fighters on the UFC roster. And him versus McGregor is obviously going to have fireworks. So it could make sense. I could see them doing the rematch with Charles Oliveira. I could see Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira do a rematch, while I think Poirier is going to end up fighting Dariush during this kind of time where Islam is now fighting Volkanovski for the title in February. So I think the lightweight division it's very deep, and I'm not saying it's the end for Chandler. He is getting up there in age, but I think he still has a shot. So we'll see. We'll see what the UFC does on Tuesday, but for the most part, I'm just sad, man.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow.
All right. Well, you asked me about Chandler, so I'm gonna ask you about the Izzy fight. What are your thoughts on the main event tonight?
I thought it was a very impressive fight. Not only was I impressed, but I was just biting my nails, just like so tense because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought Izzy looked good. Izzy looked crisp. He looked smooth. Just Alex Pereira can just end the fight whenever he wants, and that's what he did.
Yeah. If you saw actually in the pre-show, I did talk about that check left hook he has, and
that's what he landed with, right?
Yeah, he landed it on Izzy. It's just this weird check left hook that just no one seems to see. And I knew that was going to be an X factor, but I mean, Izzy was up 3-1, man. I was like, okay, he's going to coast to this victory. Even in the 5th round, I mean, I don't think he was fighting bad. He kind of got tripped up on his own feet, and then he ended up on the cage, and that was the end. So it was a little bit unlucky, I think, because if he doesn't kind of trip over his own feet, they're still in the middle of the octagon, and I just kept getting so nervous every time Izzy was up against the fence because I knew that was the place that Pierre was going to put it on him, and he continuously backed up against the fence. And I mean, that was the end. So
yeah, it's just sad to see because is he was just on a crazy win streak and 7 title defenses, making his status as the GOAT, one of the greatest all time in the middleweight division. Just to see him go out like that was just not ideal.
Yeah, but I don't really think he loses his GOAT status because he was
You don't?
winning the entire fight. No. It's not like he came out and got absolutely dominated and beat to a pulp the entire fight. Like, he was winning the fight.
Yeah, you're right.
I had it 3-1. I think you had it 3-1.
Mhm.
Some people even had it 4-0. I heard Chael Sonnen thought it was 4-0 going into the 5th round. So I don't think he loses his GOAT status at all. I think it's literally reminiscence of Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. He was winning the fight and he just got caught. So I don't know. I think they'll definitely rematch. Are they going to rematch like the next fight? I'm not sure. Because Pierre has the mouth now to be like, whoa. I beat this guy 3 times. Like, how many times do you want me to beat him before I don't have to fight him again? So,
But that was a different organization.
I know, but I mean, he knocked him out. So,
But Israel Adesanya is cleaning out the whole middleweight division, so I don't know why you wouldn't give him that next shot. I'll tell you what though, I would love to see a rematch between Strickland and
Pierre,
Pierre.
that'd be a good fight. It's just hard now because he got knocked out in the first round to him. He'd have to go through Cannonier, he'd have to go through Whitaker, he'd have to go through Vittori just to get back to that title shot.
Strickland's fighting Cannonier in December.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it got rescheduled?
Mm-hmm.
Because he had to pull out because of his finger.
It is rescheduled.
Oh.
I just saw it on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, yesterday.
Well,
So,
all right, Priest. Well, we're going off on this tangent.
Yeah,
but
I need to get my mind.
yeah. Shifting back to the 3 burn moments of UFC 281. Give me your first burn moment.
My first burn moment of UFC 281 is going to be Mike Trizano versus Choi Woo. Mike Trizano. Oh, actually, I heard on the commentators that they're talking about how Mike Trizano is on the verge of being cut by the UFC because he hasn't won, and they're talking about how he needs to get an impressive finish, and he sure did. Put Choi out.
If you guys didn't watch that fight, you guys have to go back and watch that fight. It was crazy. At one point, they both hit each other with a right and both dropped each other at the same exact time.
That was crazy.
Literally almost a double knockout. So you guys got to go back and watch that fight.
Mm-hmm. That was a crazy fight. But my burn moment is him being on the verge of being cut from the UFC, and took that on the back of his head, bit down on the mouth guard. Oh.
Yeah. Good for him. I'm happy for him.
I'm happy
That's
for
a
him.
tough spot to be in, coming into a fight with so much pressure on yourself that I have to win to keep my job. And, I mean, he won. He knocked him down, I think, 4 times before eventually putting him out. So, great win. Great burn moment pick. I didn't think about that burn moment pick, but, Priest, you always surprise me.
You already know. All right, Phoenix, what is your burn moment from UFC 281?
You know what? It pains me to say this because, like I said, the Chandler fight, man, it's weighing heavy on me. But I'm gonna pick Dustin Poirier. Not that I don't like Dustin Poirier. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a brawler. He bites down on his mouthpiece and he fights. But I'm a Chandler guy, so this is tough to pick. But I'm gonna go Dustin Poirier. I think the burn moment happened in the second round. So the second round, as you guys know, Chandler took him down. He was holding him down. He even got to his back at one point. But during that transition of getting onto his back, he was trying to work for the rear naked choke. And Chandler literally put his hand inside Poirier's mouth and pulled it up. Because Poirier was doing a good... I'm trying to talk in the mic while showing. But Poirier did a good job of like tucking his chin. And that's what they teach you in 101 jiu-jitsu, is to tuck your chin if you're going to get choked. And Chandler was just pulling his mouth up, like fish hooking in. And I think that was the point that Poirier just got pissed. He was like, you know what? No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to finish this guy. And I think that really set the tone for the third round. So during the second round, when Chandler was on his back, he fish took him. And that was the burn moment for Dustin Poirier.
Jeez, how did you even see that? I didn't even see that whenever I was watching the fight because I was so nervous. But
yeah, it's kind of hard to see because if you go back and watch it, just kind of looks like he's covering his face almost and just like grabbing his face. But you'll see he's like pulling up, which, gosh, that must have hurt a lot.
I can't imagine. Let me do that on you real fast.
Okay, yeah, hell no. We're not doing that over here. But, all right, Priest, moving the show along. You gotta give me your last and final burn moment of UFC 281 in the Big Apple.
Gosh, you got me thinking. I'm gonna rock with Aaron Blanchfield versus Molly McCann. Aaron Blanchfield is my burn moment. She's going in there, Madison Square Garden, one of the most famous arenas across America.
Mm-hmm.
Molly McCann is just on a tear, having so much hype built around her, and Aaron Blanchfield weathered the storm and got it done. But not only was that my burn moment, but I kind of have a second one for her. Whenever that octagon door closed, about like 56 seconds into the very first round, Aaron Blanchfield shot for a single leg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she shot for a single leg, got it, put Molly into a crucifix, and that was the end of that. And I think the burn moment was just weathering the storm.
That's a good pick, Priest. You did allude something. There's being
you.
Calm. I think Aaron Blanchfield, for as young as she is and hungry and up and coming, she was so calm in a high anticipated fight. I mean, Molly's coming in riding high.
Phoenix just had a brain burn moment.
Yeah, exactly. Riding high on just all this fame that she's getting from these last couple fights in Liverpool, being friends with Patty, the whole everything. There was a lot of animosity into this fight, and Aaron did a great job just being poised and just got what she wanted. She wanted her on the ground, and she got her to the ground, and she never looked back.
Nope, not at all. The question is, what's next for her?
It's tough because Molly is good, but you just don't know really how good she is.
Yeah.
Is it like the last few fights when she got knockouts, was it lucky? Or not lucky, because I think Molly's a very good fighter, but is she the cream of the crop of that 125 division? I don't know, but I think Aaron has a very good style against Shevchenko. I really do. I think she's phenomenal on the ground. She has great submissions. She has great takedowns. She has great takedown defense. And she has very, very crisp hands. So I think on the feet she might lack just a little bit against Shevchenko, but on the ground she's right there with her. So granted, that's probably a good 3 fights away, but I think she has the style to maybe beat her.
I mean, she's cracking the top 10 this week, so
Yeah.
I don't say why not. I would love to see what she looks like striking against like Molly. The question is, can she take a punch?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Valentina has power.
Yeah.
She has power.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize that enough. Power.
Power.
That's kind of cool. Power.
Yeah. But granted, like I said, that's a few fights away, but I think she has the style, man, and so we'll see. Great win, great pick. You had 2 good burn moments tonight. I was very generic. Very generic with a main card banger, probably the best fight of the night, and you're diving in deep here. So I'm gonna have to one up you for the UFC 281 burn moment recap.
UFC 282.
282. Sorry, 282. That's twice. I'll be quiet from now.
Well, Phoenix, since you want to be quiet, I guess I can sign us off. That will do it for the UFC 281 recap show. Me and Phoenix just gave you guys our 3 burn moments. Let us know in the comments who your guys' burn moments were. And Phoenix, tell them where they can go next.
Like always, like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Burn Factory Podcast. And like always, please visit his foundation at priestjamesfoundation.org. Again, that is priestjamesfoundation.org to see why this is called The Burn Factory Podcast. That's it. That's a wrap.
See you for UFC 282, Prohaska versus Teixeira.
Yeah, word on the street will be there, so
Pop in, say what's up.
say what's up. Peace.